Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. As always, I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Now, if you saw my most recent life update, I talk about how I now work in industry. So the topic of this video is going to be my advice on how to get a job in industry, how I actually secured my job at a company that was not hiring, and then also tips and advice I would give to help kind of differentiate yourself and stand out as you're finishing and doing university. So, what is my current job? My current job is in a precast concrete firm and my title is designer estimator. So I'm doing kind of CAD work, drawings, technical detailing, and I'm also pricing up jobs. I am one of 3 designer estimators that essentially do all of the holocore designs for the company. So we do have quite a lot of work between us and there's a lot of variety that I get to see and I'm really loving the job. Now, as I mentioned before, I actually managed to secure this job when the company was not hiring. How did I manage to do this? So, one day I was starting to research into precast technology. I found it really interesting and I really wanted to learn a little bit more. What I ended up doing was I actually found this firm on the internet and I just showed up one day and walked in and started asking questions. Now, I literally started talking to the first person I saw, asking some questions about the software they use, and now having worked there, turns out I was asking the complete wrong person, which is quite funny in my opinion. But what ended up happening was the director that was in the middle of the office actually called me over and I went and sat with him. What he did was he explained me through some of the projects they do, some of the work they do, and he showed me what day-to-day is like in the company. I found it really interesting, and what I made sure to do was get his contact details, get his email, and to stay in contact. So I stayed in contact, continued emailing back and forth for about a week, and then what happened was we set up a informal coffee at the local coffee shop around the corner from the company, and there I met my personal manager and then one of the managing directors. Now, in this coffee, they explained that they originally actually had 4 design estimators, and due to COVID and previous issues, and sickness and things like that, people had actually left and they were left with 2 designer estimators. At the most extreme case, 1 designer estimator, who's my manager, working during the COVID period, essentially picking up the work of 4 people. So really stressed out, and they mentioned that they have been looking to hire someone, but unfortunately just because they're so flat out busy, they have so many projects, they don't even have time to look around to hire anyone. So the fact I showed up just presented the perfect opportunity. Having a degree in architecture and showing a lot of enthusiasm, they really liked that, and honestly, that was the reason I got my job. Having spoken to my manager since, he's actually said it's really hard to not hire someone when they've got that much enthusiasm and passion, and since that point, I haven't really looked back. Now, what I want to do is I want to show you a couple of the emails I exchanged back and forth. I will blur out a couple of things just to show you that it really was that simple. And that leads me on to my advice for students graduating and people trying to find a job. Now, keep in mind, I graduated a year before starting this job, and as you guys will know, I spent a year working in sales, so it doesn't have to be straight after university. Why do I think I got the job? So in hindsight, I think the reason I got the job, rather than applying and going through the traditional process, was I stand out. I actually made it easier for the company, and I went out of my way to kind of stay in contact and ensure that if they needed anything, I tried to offer all the help I could. So that is my advice for students trying to get a job. Firstly, differentiate yourself. If you look at a company that's hiring and you're only applying and sending off your CV and portfolio, put yourself in the position of the employer. They're sat there all day looking through portfolios. While they may see some really interesting stuff, there's no way to kind of differentiate yourself. The best ways to differentiate yourself are a unique style, a really clear narrative throughout your work, or just something that really stands out. Something, for example, a skill you're really good at drawing, or you're really good at oil painting, or something that differentiates you from from everyone else that's applying. But to be honest, I don't think this is the best way. I actually think it is best to create a list of the places you want to work and actually start nurturing those relationships as soon as possible. Say for example, you want to work at Big. Now I've done the interview with Mia, who on this channel, where she got a job as an interior designer at Big. And what I would do first is I would reach out to them, connect with some of the individuals on LinkedIn, on social media. LinkedIn is an amazing tool. I really think everyone should be using it. It's essentially Facebook for business. So connect with people in the companies, reach out to them, ask them questions, see if there's any way you can provide value to them and kind of nurture a relationship. And then when it comes time, say for when you graduate, if you've done this several months in advance, you could actually reach out and hopefully by this point you've developed a relationship. You'd be willing to ask them if they've got any vacancies at their company. Now, you may have to go through the official means and still apply with a portfolio and CV, but you've got a massive advantage because someone in the company has actually already got an idea of who you are as a person, and it's not just a blank name they're looking at on a document. Now, there's another reality which is quite hard to accept, but it's really not what you know, it's who you know. So I'd go out of your way to try, while you're in university, reach out to as many people as possible, build relationships, connect with people, because it's the most easy time to do it in university. Now, not everyone knows an architect or some firm that their family members are in where they can just go straight into that after they graduate. For people like myself, I don't know any other architects. I especially didn't when I was in university. So I've had to go out my way to reach out on LinkedIn, to reach out with people on YouTube, to message creators, to email individuals. Many of my emails have just been, unopened or unresponded. I don't know what's happened to them. But if you think about it, I would rather send out a load of emails, personalized that I've spent time on and not have a response, than not send any and never get any opportunity. I truly believe if I hadn't have walked in at this day, at this point in time, with the kind of energy and enthusiasm that I did, I would not be in the job I'm currently in. And I really enjoy it, and I think it's a great opportunity for future progression. So that's really all my advice. Make sure to differentiate yourself from other people. Try be enthusiastic, have a good energy about you, show you care about what you do, and essentially see how you can benefit the company. At the end of the day, they want an employee that's going to benefit them, that's going to make their life easier. They don't want someone they're going to have to keep chasing up, that's not very proactive, that's not very on top or organized. So developing all these skills is not only good while you're in university, but it's really good for a prospective employer. So guys, that is all we have for this video. Really quick one. Hopefully you found it helpful. Again, if you aren't subscribed to this channel and you're an architecture student or you find it interesting, please make sure to subscribe. It really helps the channel. It helps me help more people. And I'll catch you guys in another video. Take it easy.